Hey everybody, it's time for HabNormals. All right, we got a good show for you today. We are going to it's funny because it's episode 48, and we are going to be talking about the Habs number 48 as our main topic, Lane Hutson. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about last week's games. Maybe a little news item here or there. We're also going to work in the 3 stars of the week and next week's game predictions. But our main topic is going to be Lane Hutson. Matt and I off air were before starting this. We were talking for about 20 minutes. And you know what? We probably still got another hour or two we could talk about Lane Hutson. He's fantastic. We're going to let you know all about it. And HabNormals starts now.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.
Hey, everybody. All right.
What's up?
I had to throw that nice piece of artwork up there. All right. So I'm Rick, your one of your hosts. And down
Matt.
there is my co-host, Matt, as always.
President of the Lane Hutson fan club.
We are HabNormals. You got to be, why be normal when you can be HabNormal, right? That's what they say.
Especially when Lane Hutson's on this team.
Exactly. If Lane Hutson is I don't even know what I'm going to say. All right, so we're going to talk about our wonderful defenseman Lane Hutson, who is turning out to be. I don't know. I think his potential is through the roof. Sky's the limit. And anyway, we're going to get into that. But first, just a little bit of news in that David Reinbacher, if you're wondering about how he's doing, he's back on
Very
the
good
ice
news.
skating solo and by himself. But I mean, he's back on the ice and skating. So he may get a month or so of games in down in Laval.
Probably give or take. I mean, it's good. I'm glad he's skating. Very, very good sign. And
it's already 6 months. It's crazy. It's already 6 months.
Yeah.
Or I mean, close to it. It's closing in on 6 months, I guess. But he's back.
Around there.
So anybody who was, because I've been asked this a few times about if I have heard anything, and I hadn't. But today, he's back on the ice. So go Reinbacher, go! Can't wait to get him. Back playing in Laval and starting to see what we got in him. It just seems like we haven't yet had that good close look at Reinbacher. Right? You would agree?
Yeah, no, I would. And it's like I said, I think it's good for him too to just be able to skate again. And I mean, he must feel really, really good.
Yeah, it must be. When you consider everything how bad that must be, how you feel getting injured and your whole season that your plans, they're all gone. Mm-hmm. It must be, really good for him to be back on the ice. He must be very happy. All right. Montreal Canadiens are 10-2-1 in their last 13 games.
Playing damn good hockey.
2-1 in their last 13, and that's not against bottom teams either.
No, this is against some legit competition here.
Legit. As a matter of fact, last night's win, because we're recording this on Wednesday, they played Tuesday in Utah. That was probably the worst team that they beat. It seems if you were not a good team, we lose against you. But if you're a good team, we beat you.
Chicago. But yeah, I mean, look, right? We've beaten, this run alone, right? We've beaten Tampa, Florida, Vegas, Washington. Went to a shootout against
Dallas. Beat there's another team in there that you didn't mention.
Oh, the Avalanche beat them in a shootout.
It was Colorado, I was going to say. I don't know. Plus, back-to-back against Detroit when it started. I think that's what started it all.
Those 2 wins are kind of huge right now, too, if you look at the standings, because the Red Wings are surging, too.
Yes. I mean, going into last night, they were tied at 44 points. Montreal now is 46. Yeah. So, anyways, Montreal's still 2 points out of a wild card. Playing awesome. The beginning of each game, it seems like a script for Montreal. It doesn't seem to matter who they're playing against. first periods, they start out slow. Looks like, wow, they're going to lose this game or what? But by the second period, if not before the end of the first, they're playing better, and they just roll. As the game gets longer, they get better.
Well, I mean, last night the penalties certainly didn't help in the first period.
Yeah, but then the second period, it was all penalties that Utah took.
Yeah.
It was the opposite, so it was kind of weird. And I think in the third, I don't know, were there penalties? I don't even remember. But Montreal just once they got their feet under them, they were unstoppable. If you ask me.
Oh yeah, no, they look really good. They look a lot more dangerous in the offensive zone. You know, they're holding the puck in a lot more, getting a lot more chances. Patrick Laine finally got that 5-on-5 goal from the same fucking spot he's been scoring from.
And that
every single goal this season, it's crazy.
That power play, even though I don't know if they got a power play goal, but it looks so much more dangerous.
Oh God, yeah!
It's amazing how.
I think one of them, Laine got like 5 one-timers in a row or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the most amazing thing, because you guys all out there, you've probably watched some of the games. Laine got his first 5-on-5 goal, but the amazing thing about it is he got it from the exact same spot he got all those power play goals.
Like it's comical because it's like you think teams would kind of key in and say, let's not let him shoot the puck from there, but
yeah,
I mean, when you're as good a shooter as him, I don't think there's much he can really do.
When it happened, I thought, oh man, he got it in almost the same spot. I said, like, it was close. I saw the replay. I go, oh my God, like that. That's the same spot.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy. So, you don't want Patrick Laine to be standing in that spot with a one-timer.
No, it's not good for your team's chances of winning hockey games. Let me tell you.
Yeah, not a lot of goalies are going to stop that shot. Like that's a grooved shot. That shot is so grooved. You not a lot of goalies are going to stop that one.
No, and just his combination of power and accuracy too. Like, even if you get a good read on it, he's going to put it in like the one place you can't get it.
Yeah, and even if you do get a piece of it, it's probably still going in the net, unless you read it perfectly and you're right in front of it. It's going off you, because that's what happened last night. It went off.
We'll create a lot of rebounds, though, too, right? Because it's not, again, even if they get a piece of it, it's not much, and it's, you know, it's got so much power behind it, it just flings off to the corners or something like that.
Yeah, if you stop that shot, that's a hell of a save for a goalie to stop that shot.
Oh, yeah.
Especially on a 5-on-3 when there's like, even though you know it's coming. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The other thing I wanted to bring up that's not on the agenda is this, and I just got this. Did I drop it? No, I said in case. So Cole Caulfield, who has 24 goals, is on pace for, I think 46, or I think 46. Cole Caulfield leads the NHL in goals at 5-on-5 with 17. He also leads the NHL in goals on the road with 17. So Cole Caulfield is having that season that we all were over anxious and called it like 3 years ago. He's finally having that season.
Well, I mean, when you add a certain defenseman to this team that can find guys like that without even looking at them.
No, that's true.
That helps.
Also, he's older. He's more experienced. All that stuff.
The shoulder's fully healed up. I mean,
shoulder, exactly.
Which we said a lot last year. If you listen to us, might take him a season to get that shoulder comfy.
Before we get to the last week's games, let's do math on Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield has 24 goals in 43 games. That is more than he's scoring at a higher pace than 0.5 goals per game, right? So he's got 39 games left. He's scoring at more than half of those games, according to like his pace right now. You're looking at another 21 goals. I'm gonna call it 21. I'm calling it he's gonna get 45 this year. That's my prediction now. Right? As long as obviously he stays healthy and he just keeps the whole team just keeps doing what they're doing. And I can even see that pace increasing because they seem to be just getting, when they're all healthy, they're just getting better right now. I don't know how.
I mean, it feels like every game, and I mean, even there, like a guy like Kirby Doc's got 7 points now in his last 9 games since
Yeah, he's back
December
on pace. He's back
something.
on pace.
I mean,
2 goals
he's
last
been
night.
the knee's not bothering him anymore.
I don't know that the knee was bothering him.
Or at least he's like comfortable with it now. You know what I mean?
I
Like
think
he
that's
feels
right.
he feels
100%.
comfortable enough on it. All
Comfort.
right, I'm gonna play my game now.
Full comfort with the knee, and even Marty was saying, Coach Marty, you know, his pace, he's able to get to places he wasn't able to get to. He's able to keep up better. He's just faster, and it's showing. It's helping his game, and it's helping his confidence.
More agile too. I mean, that goal he scored,
beautiful goal.
I mean, just absolutely beautiful. Again, credit Lane Hutson drew 4 defenders to him.
Yeah,
which is crazy in and of itself, and just made a nice pass. And yeah, I mean, the agility for Doc to get in there and cut across the net and basically just give it a love tap in. It's beautiful.
He's getting an opportunity to show why he was a 3rd overall pick.
Yep.
You know, he's finally getting back to that spot where you can see why he was a 3rd overall pick. So good on that. All right, let's get to last week's games. Last week, that is, we filmed this on Wednesdays. So from last Wednesday, I guess, but I think it was Thursday, to last night, they were in Washington, where they beat the they're not, I don't know if they're league leading, but because there's 3 teams that keep changing. But top of the league, Washington Capitals 3-2 in overtime. Nick Suzuki with his 2nd overtime winner in a row. That was that night. They lost 2-1 in a shootout to Dallas at home on a night where they didn't get home from the road because it was a back-to-back situation till 3 a.m, or they probably each didn't get back
because of
to their
snowstorms. Yeah,
about 3 a.m, and they had to play a team that was rested, like 3 days rest and all that, and they still took them to a shootout.
They're one of the top teams in the league,
right? And took them to a shootout and a low-scoring game. So, excuse me, I think that's pretty good. Then they were.
That's a lot of credit to Marty St. Louis too. I want to give him credit for that, for making sure that team was still prepared.
Oh yeah.
Obviously they were dog tired, but he made sure that they were prepared and had them ready to go.
That's what they were not seeing anymore. Really, a team that doesn't look prepared.
Yeah, good.
It just, we're not seeing that. And then last night they were in Utah, first ever time in Utah, and they won 5-3. So we'll talk about that. So you lead off. You can talk about all 3 at once if you want, or however you want, and I'll chip in and whatever. We'll just go with that. And first of all, I don't remember. Did we do any of these games together?
No, we did not.
We did not. I didn't think so. Okay. Did you see the Washington game?
A little bit of it, not a lot. I didn't see the Dallas game at all. But the Utah game last night I watched. But because of the late start, I couldn't really come on to do commentary. That's why I wasn't on stream. But so I really kind of speak to the Utah game, I guess. Yeah, I mean you can't take penalties like that to begin, but you know, as soon as the pucks dropped to start the second period, like they're a totally different team. They look locked in.
Soon. I wouldn't say as soon as, but at some point,
you know, a couple of minutes after puck drop. I mean, they were locked in. They were getting. I mean, I was very impressed with the way they were keeping the puck in the zone and just getting chance after chance after chance. Like they looked really, really dangerous. They finally look like a team that's legitimately dangerous to score every time they get the puck in the O zone. Like they really do.
I'm only pushing back on that is in this way because there was a point near the midway point of the second, so halfway through the game, and I was starting to worry and think I was right about worrying about. Remember, I said in the last one, I said this was the game that worried me the most, and I thought they were going to lose. And I'm glad I'm wrong, but it for about half the game,
a little bit,
it looked like it was going to be that type of game. And then they found their consistency, and I mentioned it in the broadcast. Like, is it me or like they're playing better and they're being like
they were playing really? I mean, they look like a team that was trying to win the game.
Yeah, because their passing sucked, and it was like the bounces weren't going, and then all of a sudden it turned. It was weird. It just turned, and at least at that point, also they weren't in a big hole, right? They were down by 1.
No,
The game wasn't out of hand, and if Utah
they
was a
didn't
better
back
team,
down at all either, and I've noticed that a lot. Like they don't quit, and I know we've
No,
said
no.
that's obviously a quality that they've had, but I mean it's really been present lately. Now that they're again, they're more
If
confident
Utah
in the
was a
defensive
better
system.
team,
Like
though,
this team isn't going to give up.
if Utah was a better team, that game I think would have gotten out of hand because Montreal didn't
Probably.
find their legs till about the halfway point.
Mhm.
But when they did, they didn't look back really. I know they got tied up and it was 3-3, but it's still Montreal was playing well, and they just took over at some point in the third, and they were not going to be beaten.
No.
All right, so I saw the Washington game, and now this Washington at the time of that game was in first place, I believe. So we were facing the first place team, and it was just I thought we were the better team. I mean, we won in overtime, but I mean, it was pretty even. But I mean, we're talking about Montreal is out of the playoffs and facing the number 1 team or number 2 at the time. I don't remember which. And they did not look out of place, not at all, just not at all. And then I didn't take long. I think it was within. I don't know if that game or the game before. It was a quick overtime. And Nick Suzuki, fantastic, the leader of this team. And so they were the better team overall. So Montreal can keep with anybody. Proved it in that game for me against Dallas. If they weren't tired, if they hadn't played the night before, if they had gotten home earlier, they would have beat Dallas.
I think so.
I just think everything was against them in that game. Before the game started with all those kind of things that happened, and I think if that didn't happen, if there was a delay in their flight or something like that caused them to get home late on a back-to-back, right, with travel. So that's not a good thing. So if that doesn't happen, they're a more rested team. I think they beat Dallas. So
it was good too that it was a night game and not matinee. If it was a matinee game, I think they would have been in real trouble.
Well, yeah. If they had the night and then travel and then a matinee game, and I wouldn't be surprised if the league does that. I haven't seen that. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so I went over to Utah game as well. I think, Did I? I commented.
Well, I kind of went over that. Well, we both went over that game a little bit.
I think so. Anyway, they took over from the second half, and anyway. Let's talk about Lane Hutson.
Fitting episode number 48 is going to be all about number 48.
It is. And I didn't know that. It's funny because I kind of only planned this out today. And when I did the thumbnail, I didn't put an episode number. And so I had to keep going back and change, right? So it's I made a couple of changes, and then I realized, it's not episode 47. Go back and change it. It's 48. And it hits me. It's episode 48, and we're doing this about Lane Hutson. So this was not planned out like, episode 48.
No.
It just happened.
It took us a minute to put 2 and 2 because you put it in the group chat. Then I went, whoa, that's funny.
Yeah, it only hit me there. And I isn't that a weird coincidence? So kind of meant to be, right? So Lane, my note here says Lane Hutson is awesome, and he is. We'll go over a couple of things that here's the one that I think, excuse me, is kind of jaw-dropping in a way, right? And that's this one with only 3 rookie defenders have ever led the NHL rookies in points at the midway point of the season. And there's another couple of games past that, and he's still leading. And that's, well, they led off with Lane Hutson, but Lane Hutson.
You might know the other 2 guys. I'm not sure. They might have been good.
Lane Hutson, Nick Lidstrom, and Bobby Orr. So that's, that's in the history of the NHL, right? Like Cale Makar didn't get that. Quinn Hughes didn't have that. No other rookie defenseman had that.
Not only is it in the history of the NHL, but I mean, you're looking at like two of the greatest defensemen ever and the greatest hockey player of all time. Like that's when I saw that, my jaw hit the floor. Like I knew this kid was gonna be really, really good. I didn't think he was gonna be this good this quick. Like it's crazy how much better he's gotten as the seasons went on.
Yeah.
Production wise and on the back end. I think he's a +7 since the beginning of December or something like that. Like it's
his minus
he's
stuff
evolving
came
before
early.
our eyes.
His minus stuff was early. He wasn't where he needed to be yet, and they were struggling. And and it's a hugely different at this point, without a doubt.
I mean, he takes games over now. I mean, last night in Utah, he took the game over.
He's starting to be able to control games. Yeah, starting. I mean, he's not there yet, but I mean,
there's been a few games here where he kind of took control, especially kind of near, in the third periods of games.
Yeah,
and just said,
you know which game for me that was? That was the Vancouver game. That was the first one in my mind.
1,000%. But last night too, I thought he really took that game over in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, look, he got it was a 3-point night, right? I mean, he had a great night. He was fantastic. So I just wanted to make this comment from that thing there. When you see me in the future talking about this kid, talking about his potential. It's potential right now, obviously, but this kid has potential to be one of those great defensemen in that company that he's in right now in that stat. I'm not saying he's going to be there, but Lane Hutson has the potential to be one of the greatest.
Sky's the limit. And Craig Button said it last night on the broadcast. Like, the sky's the limit for this kid. It really is. One of the
greatest defensemen of all time. Not saying he's going to be the greatest event, but he has the potential to be in that company. Like, that potential is there. Will he reach it? We don't know yet. But barring, it would have to be something like injury or something like that. That would, like, if he's healthy, this guy is going to just be great.
1,000%.
I don't know how else to put it, to be honest with you. So,
no, look, 1,000%, and again, right? It's not even just the offensive side of his game. Like he's gotten so much better in his own end. Since the season started. I mean, he's might be the best defenseman on the team.
He was, and I thought he was good from the first game on. I thought Lane Hutson surprised me defensively, like from the get go. So
but like he's gotten better.
He's gotten better. Yeah, without a doubt, he's gotten better. He was. You could see that he wasn't going to be a liability on defense.
No, I mean even last night, how many plays did he stop dead cold? Just stripping guys in the puck. Yeah. I mean,
and in numerous ways, he's like he's really talented.
Not going to use the size a lot, but that kid's got one of the best stick checks in the league.
We're going to gush over this kid, and I want to apologize for it first before the rest of the season because...
Not to Alex, though.
We're
not apologizing to Alex.
I'm going to brag to Alex. He's going to give us reason to talk about him this way. And he's already has. You want to talk about Corey Pronman? Mention that.
No, I don't want to give him the light of day.
Oh, okay. I want to take a drink. Talk about it.
So Corey Pronman came out with his rankings of like the top plays in the NHL under 23, and he had like Lane Hutson, I think, at 29th. It gave him an average compete grade, which and not even just Hab fans on Twitter, like the whole fans of the whole league were like, "You're out of your fucking mind."
It makes you wonder how does this guy get a job over at The Athletic?
Like, and he had Celebrini at 1, which sure I can understand that. But if Celebrini's at 1, I think you have Mitchkov in his top 5 or top 10. Like, why is Lane Hutson at 29? That makes no sense.
And you know what, though? In the talk for the Calder, I think up until very recently, he was like a distant third. It was Celebrini and Michkov, and then he's a distant third. And I didn't understand this. Are you guys not watching the games? Are you just watching?
Dude, it must be. Now he's kind of running away with it a little bit. Like Celebrini, like hot on his tail for a second, but right now, I mean, Lane Hutson's the obvious favorite. Has to be the obvious favorite. I mean, I think he's got 4 points on both of them right now, or 5
points on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I haven't seen Celebrini play this season yet. I don't think anyway. So I can't.
No, he's legit. I mean, I watched the kid at BU obviously last year.
But
when he and Hudson were on the same team. Seen him a little bit with the Sharks. Like he's legit. I mean, he's got a great two-way
I'm not
game.
saying he's not. I'm just saying I haven't seen him play, so I can't speak to that. I've seen Michkov play. I've seen Michkov play probably, I think, 4 or 5 times this season. I have not been impressed, not one iota, by this kid. And I know it's a coincidence, and I get it that I'm just catching him on bat, but he hasn't had a point in a game I've watched, and he's barely noticeable. So I don't even understand how he's gotten 29. He's got 31 points, I think, now.
A lot of them have been on the power play.
A
lot of them have been power play points.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I haven't seen him do anything in the games I've seen. So I don't know. But Celebrini, I know, missed games, and he's basically at a point a game. He's definitely doing
just
shit.
under, but yeah.
The question I ask is, are they, either of those two guys, as dominant on the ice as Lane Hutson has been? And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Michkov, in my mind, is not, because I've seen it.
No.
I don't think so. I don't know for Celebrini.
I mean, but again, Celebrini's kind of hard to judge because he's on the Sharks. So no, I mean, but he, I mean, he has that game breaking ability. Like in the two-way games, there, it's just he's on the Sharks.
No, I get it, and he probably is, but I'm just saying, has he been as?
But no, if you watch the games right now, I mean, Lane Hutson is, like we said, I mean, the 2 games we mentioned, he just completely took them over.
So how this guy could write this about?
It's clickbait. It's engagement farming. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's just clickbait, right? He wants people to click because they're
Lane Hutson average compete. Lane Hutson average compete. Like, that tells me you just haven't watched any Habs games this season. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, or he, by coincidence, caught the 1 or 2 games where Hutson was average.
I mean, I'd imagine that's not the case because he works for the Athletics, so he probably watches film and whatnot.
Okay, I know, but I'm trying to help the guy out. But yeah, you're right. I mean, how? So it also tells me that it's probably a guy that's got an unfair bias for whatever his own personal reason is, for either the Habs or for Hutson himself, because he likes another player of that draft class better. And, that might be it. Which I'm telling you, if you're a writer doing what he's doing, you need to be unbiased. And he's not doing that. So I have always been on the fence with.
He's the only writer I know of that said stuff, that's written stuff like that.
I've always been on the fence with that guy. Sometimes there's the odd article you go, oh yeah, no, that makes sense, and then sometimes I don't get what he's saying at all. So, anyways, take that with a grain of salt from a guy like that.
Oh yeah.
All right, he's on pace. Hutson is for
67-ish, 68.
67-point season. And that would be the highest point total by a Canadiens defender in 36 years. And that's not a rookie defender. That's any defender.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a rookie. So
I think that was Chris Chelios, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't know because it didn't say. So I
it would have been 30, 95. It would have been 89.
Yeah, I don't know what Chelios got.
Well, I know Chelios he was the rookie. He's got the most points by rookie D-man. But I know if Hutson hits that 67 mark, he's gonna blow that out of the water. He'll end up I think 5th all time.
I don't think
defenseman is kind of crazy. A couple points shy of Brian Leach, I think, and
I have that next.
A couple other big names. Bossy was up there, like some big names up there.
I got that. So I'm gonna get to that. Since December 1st, Is this the one he had? And this is small, and I get it. He's the third highest points total by a defenseman. Only Zach Werenski and Quinn Hughes are ahead of him. And
he's tied with Quinn Hughes.
And he's tied, right? He's tied with Quinn Hughes. So he's, I guess, second. And Cale Makar is just behind them.
He's got. I find it hilarious that Lane Hutson has more assists than Cale Makar has points.
And this is true. I know it's crazy, guys. I'm sorry for you people watching, but I mean, he is up there. Whatever, like, he's the real deal. Now, what you were talking about, this is the NHL most points.
That's what I put in the chat.
Rookie defenseman. Yeah, I copied it in a season. So if he finishes at 67, he'll end up with the fifth most. But then he's only 1 point behind Gary Suter. So, he gets another point. So he's fourth most. And then it's like he's got potential to be, I would say he might catch Brian Leach. Potentially. I don't think he's
But look at those other names though there, right? Like you said, Leach, Gary Suter, Ray Bourque, Chris Chelios, who I mentioned a little bit ago, Nick Lidstrom,
Larry Murphy, Mark
Howe,
Mark Howe, right?
Yeah, but still, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's elite company.
That's the point, right? He is, in his rookie season, he's showing that he is, he's in elite company already. So, I don't know what this one is. Oh, this was from when he had got his 30th assist. That was 2 in the last season and 28 this season. Fewest games to 30 assists in a season. And Hutson was in there with 42 games or something like that to it. 43. And ahead of him, Larry Murphy, Brian Leach, Chris
Lidstrom, Pearson, Chelios.
Yeah, so I mean, look at the names there, right? He's in elite company. Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And this one, I think that's the same thing, just a different. Yeah,
that's reached 30 points in general.
Fastest rookie defender in Habs history to reach 30 points in a season. Oh, right. He passed Chelios by 5 games. So he is the fastest rookie defenseman in Habs history to reach 30 points in a season. So, I mean, when a guy's hyped like Hutson is, and then, he has his rookie season, he does okay or whatever, and, okay, he's going to get better as he goes along. But here's this guy coming out and doing incredible things straight off the bat, 40 games into his career, basically, right? This guy's going to be amazing. I don't know how else to put it. He has 8 points in his last 4, including 2 3-point games. So that's another thing he's done, and we can come up with all kinds of I don't know. We can come up with all kinds of shit.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's 5th right now in defenseman assists. He's 1st in slot pass completions by a shitload.
You said
like, it's not even close.
It sounds like you're saying slap.
Slot.
I just wanted to make sure people heard that. That's right. He's like ahead of like everybody in passes to the slot. So it's just crazy, some of the things. Zone entries, zone exits. He's up in the top, not leading necessarily, but in the top group, I don't know. This episode was basically for us to just gush over Lane Hutson. I don't think there was any rhyme or reason to it. So if you're watching this and going, well, it's just, we just wanted to talk about a kid that has just given us a lot of joy this season. And I'm sure a lot of people, right? And has made us just happy to watch the games again. Like literally, it's a joy. And I can't wait to see what this kid's going to do every single game now. So I still love Suzuki and Caulfield and Slap. I love those guys. But this guy right now is my newest favorite. Like, how can you not love what he's doing and watching him with Habs colors on, No,
1,000%. I mean, and this is why I hyped the kid up so much when he was coming out of college, because
you can't help it.
I didn't think it would be this quick, but I knew he was gonna be this good. Like he had it written all over him. He had the mentality. I didn't think it would happen this quick though.
I honestly, I didn't see a lot of him play in college, right? So I knew he was going to be good. I did not at all expect him to be this good. Maybe not even this good in his career, but to be this good in his rookie season, and it's only halfway through. So, like, I'm super excited. It's why I'm probably sounding like I'm a 18-year-old girl, at a concert. You know, um, I say that like 18 now. It's like 14-year-old girls screaming at a concert. Anyway, let's not get into any trouble. So we're gonna stop talking about Hutson, but we just wanted to, I don't know, give him his due. He's having a great season so far, and it's about time Montreal has a player of that caliber that may end up being at some point in his career the best player in the league or the absolute best defenseman in the league. That's a possibility with him. We haven't had that in a long time. Let's enjoy it. All right, let's move on a little bit from Lane Hutson. It's hard to do that. We're going to talk. We're going to do the Habs 3 stars of the week, and for that, I actually have a graphic, but I have to get to it, and I don't know where I put it. So we have the Habs 3 stars of the week from the 3 games that we just talked about. I'm going to let Matt go first. Matt, go list yours 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and do all 3.
From 1?
Yeah, 3, 2, 1.
I was looking at more. I was trying to find more Hutson advanced stats.
Yeah, no worries. Go
That's
3,
crazy.
2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And then I'll
3,
do mine.
2, 1. All right, I'm gonna go with Cole Caulfield, Kirby Dach, and Lane Hutson.
Okay, I was surprised. I thought there for a second that we were going to get all 3, but we didn't get all 3. Okay, well, why? Give reasons why you went with those guys.
Well, with Caulfield, I mean, again, he's on a blistering scoring pace. His all-around game's gotten so much better, and again, he's just been he's been a key cog, and he's played very, very good hockey the past week or so. With Kirby Dach, he's 7 points in his last 9 games. I mean, he looks like the Kirby Dach that we saw last year that we thought was going to break out. And, he's still got some work to do, but he's certainly trending in that direction.
Yeah.
He's moving a lot better. He's playing such good hockey right now. And Lane Hutson, I'm just going to say his name. I don't really need to explain it.
No, you don't have to explain that. No, I would agree. And I've got Kirby Dach as an honorable mention. So I've got him there. I got Cole Caulfield as the 3rd star because he just he's rolling. He's scoring.
Oh, yeah.
He's scoring big goals, important ones. And he's also having a hell of a blast out there. And, he has been fantastic and super fast. Just a pleasure to watch. We've been, I guess, sort of frustrated over the last 2 or 3 seasons with him, wanting to see more. We're finally getting to see it, and what as the season rolls on, I'm hoping don't slow down, and he doesn't. I thought that streak he had at the beginning, and now, man, it's going to be. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Will he keep rolling like that? And you know what? Not as prolific, but not that far off of the opening. Like he had 13 goals in 13 games, something like that to start the season, right? So Cole Caulfield, number 3. I got Nick Suzuki for a second star. Nick's been great. He's got, I know going into last night, he had 7 points in his last 5 games, I think, at that point. He had those 2 overtime winners in 2 consecutive games. And Nick Suzuki is like the glue that holds this team together as much as, if not more than anybody else. And, when he's on, he produces big points, and he not only on the offensive side, but, everything he does on the defensive side. So, yeah, I thought he was deserving of number 2. And, of course, number 1, Lane Hutson. Enough said. So like I said, though, also I had Kirby Dach as an honorable
Fun fact:
mention.
he's second on the team in takeaways.
Yeah, he's just it's crazy his numbers. So I had Kirby Dach as an
love
honorable
advanced
mention.
stats.
I also have Patrick Laine as an honorable mention. Just
Totally fair.
because it's like I'm wondering, is he going to get every single goal this season from that spot? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy good. All right. Final segment of this podcast. Next week's games, we got 4 from tonight till the next podcast. Thursday, they're in Dallas. Saturday, they are in Montreal against my most hated fucking team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sunday, we got the Rangers in Montreal. And then the following Tuesday, the Tampa Bay is in town. So, Matt, you wins losses prepared? You got it prepared?
So it's Dallas. Who do we got after Toronto? I know it's Dallas, Toronto. I forget who the third team is.
At Dallas, at home to Toronto, New York, and Tampa.
Which New York?
Rangers. Who are starting to play better, I believe. I want to say they're starting to.
2-1-1.
2-1-1. Well, okay, but which, like Dallas at Dallas, win loss,
Overtime loss.
and Toronto win loss.
Win. Fuck the Leafs.
Rangers win loss.
See, we always don't. For whatever reason, we can't play well against the Rangers. I have a feeling that might be a loss.
And Tampa.
Win.
All right. So you had what'd you say? 2-1-1.
2-1-1.
I'm gonna go with I think I'm going with 2-1-1, but not the same. Not the same. So at Dallas, win in overtime. You had same thing, or was a loss in overtime?
Overtime loss.
Right. So I'm going with a win in overtime against Dallas because they just beat us in a shootout at home.
True.
So we're gonna get revenge and do it to them. Toronto, win because we're not losing to the fucking Leafs. How's that?
Well, especially, Morgan Riley, I think, hurt, and Tavares just had a big in practice.
They're not playing well right now, the Leafs. So I think it's a perfect time for Montreal to absolutely take advantage of that and beat them, especially when Montreal's playing great. And against top teams, against the Rangers the next night, it's back to
the Leafs really a top team, though.
Toronto is. They're kind of are. They're
yes, tough. I know, but like it's the Leafs. Like, fuck those guys.
Okay, but it's regular season. They're fine in the regular season. It's not playoffs, so they're fine. Supposedly. But they're not playing well right now, and they've got some key injuries and shit. So, we'll take advantage of that. So the next night, Sunday, I think I'm going to agree with you. A loss.
They never seem to play well against the Rangers. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd love it to be, but I couldn't call it a win, and I didn't want to be that rah we're beating everybody, because that's not realistic. I just feel that's going to be a loss. Tuesday, Tampa, a loss, but in overtime or a shootout. So yeah, so I got it 2-1-1 as well, like you, but a little different. So beating Dallas, beating Toronto, and losing to the Rangers and to Tampa. Why Tampa, by the way? We beat Tampa. I'm
pretty
sure
bad.
We embarrassed them. I think it's going to be a very motivated Tampa team, and it's going to be close, and it'll go to the overtime and shootout. So that's how I'm saying it. And that's it. I got nothing else. You got any last thoughts? No? Okay, my last thoughts are this. Check out talking-habs.com. Talkinghabs.com, but they got to put a hyphen in there or you won't get to my website. check that out. I'm writing blogs. He doesn't write. He's a little illiterate, so he doesn't write. No, I'm just joking. He's not. But he hasn't written any yet. But check out my blogs.
There we come. Don't worry.
All of our videos, all of our more recent videos, I keep updating, and all the podcasts, the ones on the other channel, Flyers and Bruins podcast, the NHL podcast, and this one, you'll find that all up there. Plus, you'll find this podcast.
This one's the best, though. This one's the best.
Yeah, but if you want to listen to it, you'll find that up there as well. You don't have to go to Spotify to get it. You can go to talking-habs.com. Please do that. And then other than that, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll be back next week with some more great news about our wonderful Habs team, because they are wonderful. And in the meantime, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and that's going to do it. So till next time, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Peace out. Have a great week. And we are going to see you next week. And in the meantime, before that, check out the games. I do the games, all the games. Check it out. Hang out with me, and that'll do it. Have a great one.
Please hang out with him. He has no friends.
Yeah, please hang out with me. I need friends. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao. Have a great week.
Swagger down the street with your